WrestleMania 42 is less than 2 nights away now. So let's get into the rundown for night one as we go through the 18th of April's card of night one of WrestleMania 42. You know how the rundown works. I go through each of the matches, just talk about them briefly, and then we get into the prediction side of things. And if you're wondering why am I not doing both nights in one video, that's because I thought it'd be more fun if we split it off, like how WrestleMania is now, one for one the first night, and another for the second night. So don't forget to please check that out. So let's start off. Obviously I have, as you all know, I have my laptop here, Wikipedia, with all the official announced matches. So if any more get announced or any surprise ones, I'm just going off of what Wikipedia is telling me. So let's get into this. The first match on the card for night one is the Visions, Logan Paul and Austin Theory and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight in a 6-man tag match. Boy, what a year makes for a lot of guys in this match. Last year's Royal Rumble winner and it won the World Heavyweight Championship in the opener of night one last year. Jey Uso, now in a 6-man tag, which probably means nothing in the grand scheme of things, because it's clear that WWE just don't know what they're doing with him. One minute they really want to push him, next minute he's just back in the tag division, then they want to try and, you know, make him a bigger star and that, and feed him into the main event of WrestleMania with the Punk and Roman stuff. Who knows? But the point being is also what a year makes for the Vision, as last year saw Seth Rollins walk out of WrestleMania with Paul Heyman by his side, officially beginning the Vision the next night on Raw with Bron Breakker, and then later adding Bronson Reed. And now look at it. Rollins is out of the Vision. Breakker is out with a hernia, but I will get into that. And Bronson Reed is also out injured. So now we're left with, no joke, the best way to compare these two, Logan Paul and Austin Theory, is the B team. Remember the B team? Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel? Yeah. That's basically what the Vision's become now. So yeah, this it's just more of it, just to get I Show Speed on the card, I reckon. This is just a celebrity match. He's in there with, and I love how we've got to the point also, is to the fact that Logan Paul is now no longer considered a celebrity in WWE. He's just a WWE guy. But yeah, this is just a celebrity match. He's in there with a bunch of guys to be protected. This will probably be, you know, a funnish match, or it'll be, you know, that'll be your time to go, get a drink, go to the toilet, get ready for whatever comes up next. Next, we have an unsanctioned match between Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre. So, you know, for the past couple of months, I've been saying that I really wanted, obviously things changed, obviously Elimination Chamber and that all mucked everything up. Please stay tuned for my Chamber review, it is on its way. I really wanted a triple threat for the WWE Championship between Jacob, Drew and Cody. I thought that's where we were heading. Alright, take Cody out, but we're still getting these two. And these two have been beating the ever-living hell out of each other every week on SmackDown. Anyway, this is going to be a hard-hitting, fun match, I reckon. And when it comes to our predictions, it's going to be pretty easy, as Drew is rumoured to be going off and filming for the new Highlander remake movie later this year. So it's looking more towards one side than the other who's going to win, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Next up is the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match of Stephanie Vacour versus Liv Morgan. I really hate the fact that this is where we are with Stephanie's title reign. For one of the best women's wrestlers on the roster, and has become a really popular star from going straight up from NXT to the main roster and got super over very quickly. She's now, as champion since WrestlePalooza, she's had such a mid-title reign. The best way I could describe it is it's the same as Gunther's first world title reign, where he won it and held it from SummerSlam all the way to WrestleMania, but he just didn't have anything satisfying in the reign. It was just, she's the champ, and she's just holding it until a later date, and that has become her title reign for me. So, and the fact that we're still getting Judgment Day dramas teasing with Liv and Raquel and Roxanne. Again, just like how I wanted Drew and Jacob to have Cody in the mix as well, I very much wanted this to have Raquel in it. I thought this would have been a great time to have it. Bit like how Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt the first time with the bugs on the mat match at WrestleMania really should have had Luke Harper, Brody Lee in the match as like a culmination of the Viper in the family story. This should have Raquel, but we haven't. And obviously Liv winning the Rumble, this is a match that she gets, so no matter what the outcome is, and like I said, everything going into it, the match should be really good with these two. So that is at least a guarantee. Next, we've got the Intercontinental Championship match of AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. This really has been an interesting one as things go. I straight away from WrestlePalooza, I saw these two feuding until Mania, which we have. I had no problem with that. That made sense to me. Do a slow burn, because AJ's not a full-time wrestler. She can pop in now and again, and keep refreshing the feud. And then Chamber happened again. Check out my Chamber review once it's uploaded to see my thoughts on it. But they have really done this backwards. First off, there was no AJ in the Rumble to carry on the feud with Becky. Then at Chamber you got, because obviously it being in Chicago, AJ won the title. Now for me, this is the big mistake. She should have won here. Win it here. And she should have lost it in a schmoz way, or however she loses it. It doesn't matter really. The point being is she gets the crowning moment here. But now she's the champ going into it. So the roles are reversed, but Becky's still a heel and AJ's still a face. So and to be honest, the last couple of weeks of Raw with these, it's been fine. It just feels like they've been treading the same amount of promos every week. And it's just like, right, we just want to we've run out of content until Mania. We need the match, but we can't because we're still a few weeks out. Let's just redo the same thing over again. So yeah, this has become what was a couple of months ago a very highly anticipated match for me, has slowly become a match. Anyway, up next is a Fatal 4-Way match for the Women's Tag Team Championship as the irresistible forces of Nia Jax and Lash Legend take on Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, and the Bella Twins. Hopefully, because there has been rumours that Nikki is injured. So we'd have to wait and see. This for me is one of the first matches that this year's WrestleMania has felt the effect of the injury plague that's going on, with many stars now not being here because of injuries. For me, this really should have been Rhea and Io in here, because they really held up the tag division late last year and early into this year. So obviously, because Bianca's nowhere near coming back before Mania, they had to pull Rhea out of the tag division and into a program of Jade. So with that, you've had to then drop the tag belts to Lash and Nia, insert the Bellas into it, and also put in Bayley and Lyra as well to fill out, which I mean is alright. They're still teasing that, and obviously Bayley last year didn't get to tag with Lyra because she got attacked by Becky and all that. So there's that story. But overall, this should be a fun match no matter what. It's just this is the first match that has the injury plague that's going around at the moment, and the effect of it is seen here. Following that is the next match that is very much injury plagued, as we've got Seth versus Gunther. Now, first thing first, this is going to be an awesome match no matter what. No matter what, you've got Seth versus Gunther. This is going to be an amazing match. Might be match of the night here easily, depending on how the women's world title match goes, because I reckon that could be a contender as well. So, long story short, Seth was originally supposed to face Punk at Mania for the world title, rumoured, but obviously he got injured. And then obviously they were looking, and Breaker speared him, kicked him out of the division, so plans changed a bit to more of a Breaker Rollins match at Mania, with the hope that Rollins was going to be cleared in time for Mania, which he is. Only problem was Breaker then got a hernia and wasn't. Rumor is he is medically cleared for in-ring competition. It's just that the fact that he's only just been it, and they wanted a longer time to tell this story between Rollins and Breaker, so they've held off on that. Meanwhile, Gunther's had nothing to do since beating and retiring AJ. What the hell? There was a rumour that he was going to face Rey Mysterio here at WrestleMania, but then Rey got injured, so Gunther kind of just got placed into the other pile of other wrestlers that just are not on the show until now. And it was like, quick, we need a match for Rollins. Throw Gunther in there as a hired gun from Paul Heyman, and we'll see how it all works. Only because now Rey's back from injury and is in the ladder match, which is it on night 2? Yeah, it's really muddled. But my biggest concern with this match is who's going to win, because you've got to be careful. Do you have Rollins win to keep him strong going into hopefully a lengthy feud with storyline with Breaker after Mania, potentially going to SummerSlam, or do you have Gunther win, as he is rumoured to be the person that's going to retire Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam? So it's going to be an interesting one. And also there is the Breaker element of it. He is technically medically cleared apparently, so there could be a run in and something in that line. But bottom line, this is going to be a great match no matter what. Which brings us to the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Boy, has this story been just a letdown and a huge drop on the roller coaster of WrestleMania. We're finally getting, after years of teasing, Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the undisputed WWE Championship. But not how we all wanted it. Yes, the roles are the right way. Cody is the babyface, Randy as the heel. That is how it should have been. And then we got couple of weeks of Randy on the phone, just talking to someone. Who could it be? Could it be this person? Could it be that person? Could it be The Rock? Could it be bloody hell Vince McMahon? There was people going around saying it could be him. Made no sense, but it got revealed. It was Pat McAfee. Apparently, this was a TKO decision, not WWE. This was higher up from the TKO board that they wanted Pat to really be the linchpin and the celebrity to help boost ticket sales. That, though, has really affected this story and has brought it down a lot because no one wants Pat in this match. And then throw in Jelly Roll, nothing against Jelly Roll, but then throw him into it. This has really become more about the celebrities than the actual match of what really should be a no-brainer main event and should be the full focus. Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. And there's also the added stipulation now that if Orton loses this match, McAfee will leave professional wrestling permanently, which kind of gives away who's winning this match when there's apparently the rumour for Backlash, which is supposedly the next PLE after Mania, is a tag match between Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee. Kind of gives away who's winning this match. That being said, though, the match should be good. It's just this build has been killed by the reveal of Pat. And that's nothing against Pat as a person. It's just Pat's been a commentator for several years, and not a great one either. And now he's a heel and has inserted himself, obviously not him personally, but he's been inserted into the main event, and the main event's more about him than it should be Cody and Randy. And it also feels a bit like Randy has been pushed to the sidelines and it's been more Cody versus Pat. Anyway, they are the matches for night 1. And now it's predictions time. Like I said, I'll go back through every single match and I'll give my predictions. So the first match on the card, like I said, is the Vision and I Show Speed versus the Usos and LA Knight. Prediction, the Vision and I Show Speed. This is classic lineup for the celebrity to get a win. This will be, like I said, Knight and the Usos won't lose anything. I mean, Jimmy Uso is right there to take the pin. That says it all. So yeah, this is quite an easy one for me. It's going to be I Show Speed and the Vision. Then we have Jacob versus Drew. Like I said, Drew is rumoured to be taking some time off after WrestleMania to go and film the Highlander 2 remake. Jacob Fatu to win here. I think it'll do him good. Also, it is annoying that Drew didn't get to go into WrestleMania as champion. But I think this could do wonders for Jacob coming out of WrestleMania with a lot of momentum. But yeah, Jacob to win here. Then we have the Women's World Heavyweight Championship match of Stephanie Vacour versus Liv Morgan. Again, hate to admit it because her title reign has been so mid. Liv Morgan to win here. She's going to win here. It will hopefully refresh the division, and we can potentially get her and Raquel down the line, hopefully. Then we have the Intercontinental Championship match of Becky and AJ. Again, if Chamber hadn't happened, I know exactly who I would pick here. It would be a no-brainer. There's part of me that sees that AJ will win here, definitively put in a bookend over Becky. But the fact that Becky's never actually technically beaten AJ, I think AJ's gonna drop the belt here, and we're gonna get a new Intercontinental Champion in Becky Lynch. The Fatal 4-Way for the Women's Tag Championships. There's an argument. You could make an argument for each team. Lash and Nia have not long just got the belts, and also they're the only tag team here to actually have a proper name, the Irresistible Forces. Charlotte and Alexis don't have a name. Bayley and Lyra are on the verge of breaking up, and I think that might come to blows here as setting up them for a post-Mania feud. And then you got the Bella Twins, which is not really a tag team name. It's just they're both twins and they've got the name Bella. There you go. And speaking of which, if Nikki is all right, if rumours are to be believed, she is potentially injured, but if she is okay, it's going to be a no-brainer. It's the one thing they've never done, and I think that's the only reason they brought Brie back, is so that the Bellas can finally win the tag team championship. So my prediction for the Fatal 4-Way is that the Bellas are going to win. Moving on, then we have Gunther versus Seth. Like I said, a very difficult match with for the outcome, because it affects each man depending on who wins. That being said, though, I'm going Gunther. There's no way he's just retired Cena, AJ, supposedly would have retired Ray at the show if that match actually happened, and he's rumoured to retire Brock at SummerSlam. I think Gunther is winning here. But I honestly do think if Breakker is medically cleared, I think he's going to come in, most likely in a hoodie and spear, cost Seth the match, allowing Gunther to win, and then that perfectly sets up post-Mania, the Seth and Braun feud. Which brings us to the main event of WrestleMania Night 1. Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton for the Undisputed WWE Championship. And I honestly think we are heading for pretty much Control-C, Control-P, copy and paste of last year's WrestleMania, with Travis Scott getting involved, but with Pat McAfee. Because, like I said, the rumoured match for Backlash is Jelly Roll Cody versus Orton and Pat. So, and with the stipulation, if Orton doesn't win, Pat leaves the wrestling industry. And then there's that match being announced. Orton's winning here, and it makes sense. It would refresh it. I think this also, as much as I still love Cody, I still like his character, I still like it. I think, though, he does need to not drop down out the main event, but I think he needs to come out the title picture and just come down a couple of steps for a few months so people won't get fed up of him, and then he can look at what Cena did back in 2015 with the US title. He could do that. It would refresh him, get people back into him, ready for him to come and getting the title picture when there's a monster heel to be defeated that everyone's going to be happy with. So yeah, Randy Orton is my chosen prediction for this match. I hope you've enjoyed this video. This is like I said, the rundown of night 1 of WrestleMania 42. Please do have a look out for night 2's rundown, and don't forget to keep an eye on the channel for videos that are in the works coming through. And like I said, I hope you enjoyed this video. See you soon. Bye.